Yeah, it's your boy Superman 2000. I'm back in the fight chair, baby. So, Chael Sonnen is headed for Bellator. Now, I a couple videos back, I was thinking, and I remember I said in one of my videos that once Kimbo had, unfortunately, due to his passing, that Bellator was gonna go ahead and take the gloves off and just start scooping up the best solid talent that the UFC have to offer. And boom, take the glasses off, the lights. Boom, here we see it. Now, Chael Sonnen, don't get me wrong, he's good. I'm trying to say this nicely. He's good. And he may have a couple good fights left in him, but he's still something that's going to bring some credibility to the Bellator brand. You got Rory McDonald, Czech Congo, Big Ben Henderson, a couple more. Tito Ortiz. You got a lot of guys that used to be in UFC now on the Bellator roster. And so gradually Bellator is starting to look like the UFC. And the younger guys coming up now, they're taking their cue from the older guys. It's not about fighting for the glory or the gold or the belt anymore. Since Conor McGregor set everybody straight, hey, it's possible to get more money if you hold out. It's possible to get the kind of money you want if you negotiate more aggressively. Luke Rockhold held out for a fight that was worth the money for him, and the UFC had to give him the right money and just recently restructure his contract to pay him the right amount of money. No. Anderson Silva, aka I call him Django Fat, the Star Wars greatest bounty hunter. I got a feeling he's gonna be rolling out of the UFC soon and slipping on the Bellator hat. Because think about it, pretty much Dana White is not gonna give him another shot at the belt. He can go somewhere where he's a superstar and get a belt that he can hold on to for a long time with his dynamic skill sets and his arsenal. That's pretty sweet. So I'm not surprised that happened. And a lot of fighters in other organizations gonna start asking for more money, or they're not gonna come to the UFC. No, incidentally, I've been watching fights from other organizations like the EFC, and they're not a popular organization in America like UFC, but the talent pool is really, real. I mean, the fighting and the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, the wrestling, the skill sets. It's those guys fight like solid pros. So yeah, I'm not surprised Chael Sonnen went for the money, and you're gonna find a lot of the older guys who are close to retirement is gonna go to Bellator. Now, I don't know what today's date is. Is it September 18th? I believe, probably. I'm not sure, but whatever today's date is, mark my words. Dan Henderson is gonna be headed for Bellator soon. Anytime they start saying that, oh, I'm gonna retire, I want time off. When they start saying that type of talk, that's just to keep Dana White from getting vindictive and lash out and that type of stuff. When Randy Couture left the UFC to go to the Bellator show, and he didn't want Dana White all over him, there's a phone call where Dana White called him and said, man, I heard through the grapevine, are you leaving? What's going on? I got the news. Are you leaving? What's going on? Randy Couture was like, no, Dana, everything is good. I'm gonna spend some time with my family, and I'll see you after Christmas, boss man. And Dana White was like, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? And then Randy Couture was like, yeah, everything is good. I'll see you after Christmas. Then boom, the next thing you know, he's over by Bellator running training camps and doing the Bellator reality show. That really ticked Dana White. Dana White was upset. Dana White said that the only time he's a real man is when only time Randy Couture is a real man is when he's in the ring. He's a coward and all types of stuff. But keep in mind that Randy Couture did not want to disclose that for legal reasons, because once you let the cat out the bag, knowing how Dana White and the UFC is, they're going to overdrive mode and the specific things to block whatever move Bellator had coming up with the TV show, are quite possible going some kind of contractual arbitration, just to, contractual negotiations, or launch a lawsuit to hold him up from being able to do what he needs to do, and just bog him down on legal paperwork and mess him up. So the best thing for him to do was just to remain quiet and get it done. So given the history of how the UFC treat fighters, people gonna start asking for more money, and they're gonna start being very secretive about when they're shopping around for to move to a different organization. You're not gonna hear it until either Ariel or Wani tell you over Twitter, or the person come out themselves directly and say, "Hey, listen, man, I've signed with such and such." Now, I will say this though: there are certain guys who they're gonna stay in the UFC until no matter what. Like Daniel Cormier, he's gonna be in the UFC no matter what. Now, John Jones, I don't get that vibe. I think he's gonna get fed up if he keeps screwing up and the UFC keep holding him accountable for his screw up. At some point, he's gonna say, "You know what? I'm just gonna roll to a different organization that will allow me the flexibility." But what that other organization is probably gonna do is have him sign a contract where it says, "Hey, if you screw up here, here, and here are the fines that you're gonna automatically pay." Because Chael Sonnen, even though he's at Bellator now, that's no free ride. If he screws up and he tests positive for drugs, he has some serious fines to pay. He is gonna be paying money out the wazoo. Yeah, yes he is. So more than likely, if John Jones keeps screaming like this to the point where, hey, he just gets frustrated because it's like he's banging his head against a wall. The UFC is overreacting when it comes to discipline, or he's making dumb mistake, or management and him just can't get along. Then at some point he's gonna say, "You know what? Let me just call this out. Let me just go somewhere else." And the fact that right now his relationship and Dana White relationship is still on the rocks, that tells me that, hey, just out of knowing that, hey, the way these guys operate and whether or not you get the opportunity to go for a title shot is based on their personal feelings about you, or there's no fair ranking system. And if they don't like you at that specific time, then they'll deliberately withhold that opportunity from you until they feel out of the kindness of their heart to give you a shot. So that's not gonna, do it. So at some point, I think Jones gonna get fed up with that and roll out. Incidentally, I got the Redskins Dallas game running in the background, so I got that subscriber sanction hat. Yeah. Let me put this on for you guys. Subscriber sanction hat. Bada bing. It looks decent, bit rusted up, but hey, side brim, face brim. I don't know. I'm still working on my hat game, so we'll do one of these for now. Yeah, so that's the whole point I'm trying to make.